Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Hit the like button, subscribe. Can't wait to see your comments in, of course, the comments section below. And if you want to join our transfer group chat on Telegram, that's what it's called. I forgot. Scan the QR code on the screen. All the latest transfer updates, plus all of the links to our latest content, so you don't miss any of them. Lots to talk about this morning. And I'm going to start with Manchester City. It's been a very, very quiet window so far for the Premier League champions. But a story that's circulating today is that Manchester City are considering a move for the £68 million Crystal Palace playmaker, Eze. Now, we saw Tottenham earlier on in this window heavily linked to a move for this young man. A man that should have got more game time for England in the summer. A man that should, in my opinion, and I mean this with respect to Crystal Palace, has to be trying to play his trade somewhere else. I think he has to. I think he's got to try and move on. I think he's got to try and get to somewhere bigger, better, more challenging for himself. And I know that they're currently saying that KDB is going to stay at Man City. I'm taking that as the truth. I'm taking it as the truth that KDB is going to stay. Cool, great. I'm going to believe you. However, and there is a however in this, if they were to land someone like an Eze, who could certainly look to pick up the creative burden, the hole, the gulf that would be left by an exit of KDB, maybe it changes that scenario slightly. Either way, whether it's Eze for a year with KDB, then KDB leaving, or as an instant replacement, this would be a phenomenal piece of business for City. And you think of the Salvio deal, you then throw in an Eze, probably then a central midfield player to help cover or work alongside Rodri, and this City team is ready to go again. They don't need open heart surgery. They don't need a massive transfers. It's keyhole surgery at best. But Eze to Manchester City, give me your thoughts. Give me your feelings in the comment section below. Now, moving on to Arsenal, Marseille are closing in on a deal for Eddie Nketiah. Personal terms have now been agreed between the player and the club. L'Equipe have reported on this and stated that Arsenal and Marseille are close to a deal, which is likely to be a loan with an obligation to buy for around 25 to 30 million pounds. Now, that's essentially as good as a sale. Arsenal will be able to raise money to buy people. He hasn't quite made it at Arsenal. Hopefully he would. And maybe in the end, not letting him leave for free and giving him a new deal is going to turn over a little bit of profit for Arsenal, which enables them to invest, which was always part of Arsenal's plan. It was to buy young or to renew the contract of the young players. If they didn't work, the idea typically was to sell them on as a profit or loan them out for 3 or 4 years, the loan fees covering whatever it was they initially cost, so that they're running a lot of their players at a cost-neutral base. I know that not all fans care about the money side of things, but I do feel it's an important component of football now. But Eddie Nketiah leaving hugely opens up the door for another attacker to come in. And we know that Gyökeres is on the lips of a lot of Arsenal fans. Pedro Neto is a name that seems to be realistic. But I'm pushing this agenda again. And this is the agenda because PSG are now doing what I believe Arsenal should be doing. PSG have entered the race to sign Nico Williams. The French club has initiated first contact. Now, this is key. We know that Nico Williams' preference is to go to Barcelona. We know this. But I believe we're living in the rainbow land, cloud cuckoo land, in a delusion that so many people labour under, with this weird notion of, I only want to sign players that only want my club. Well, you're never going to build a squad. If you believe every single member of the Arsenal squad only has desires to only ever play for Arsenal, you're lying to yourself. It's just impossible. Even Real Madrid won't have 23 players that only dream of playing there, only ever want to be there, and will never have their head turned by anybody else. Get out of this nonsense. PSG are seeing an opportunity because Barcelona are strapped for cash. Barcelona don't have the money right now to actually get the deal done. So why just give Barcelona an easy time with such a talent? Try and get involved. Try and get it done. And if PSG are doing it, Arsenal are now going to raise money. You know, and the buyout clause for Nico Williams isn't that much lower than the obligation to buy fee that Arsenal have pretty much now got guaranteed for Eddie Nketiah. So go and get it done. The money's now there. The worst that can happen is the player says no. What do you get? A bit of banter online. I think it's far more embarrassing to not attempt to sign somebody than it is to be rejected. And we've got to make that normal again. We've got to make that the reality amongst us as football fans again. So look, Eddie Nketiah leaving is really good news for Arsenal. And this is probably going to trigger a few gooners, but I think you should go and make a move for Nico Williams. He's your number one wide attacking target. Anybody else you buy after him, they might pass the threshold. They may be good quality players, and I agree. Pedro Neto, excellent as an example. I think Rafinha, if he comes in, excellent. Not slagging them off. But if your number one target, and many credible outlets have reported it, is Nico Williams, go and get the job done. Hit the like and share button, people. And not enough people share, by the way. Likes are through the roof. Share this in your WhatsApp group. Share it with your friends. Share it in your social medias. Hit that button now. Encourage people to come watch this video. Now, moving on to Manchester United today. United have added Martín Zubimendi to their list of midfield targets. He has a £50 million release clause. Yes, sir. Yes, please. Get this done. Get it over the line. Get him into Manchester United. Bring me Zubimendi. We saw this man come on in the Euro 2024 final for Rodri. And you had all the English pundits, you had people online licking their lips, rubbing their hands to go, oh, Rodri's gone. This is going to give us a chance. You could argue in that particular game, Spain got better. The ball-playing ability, the press-resistant nature, the defensive attributes that Zubimendi has are phenomenal. Picking that ball up off our defence, feeding it into the Mainus and the Bruno Fernandezes, into our wired players like Rashford and Ahmad, the level of quality we will suddenly have on the ball in midfield goes up exponentially, goes to a completely different level. You then add in a player like a Ugarte with energy in the legs and the ability to break up play. You then have great midfield options that also mean we don't have to play Mainu week in, week out, because I don't really want to see that yet at the age he is. I want to see him play a lot of football, but I don't want to see us forced into playing him for 60 games a season, running his young body into the ground, not enabling him to develop, and maybe injury problems arising later on down the line. Just go back through the history. Theo Wilcox, Michael Owens as an example. Pedri's going through it now. So I really do hope that this deal is true. I really hope it's a player. There's a number of midfielders we're looking at. Ugarte, as I mentioned. There is also Fofana, the really talented player at Monaco as it stands right now. So there's a number of midfielders United are looking at. It does appear that we want to bring in 2 to 3 potentially this summer, as long as there are exits, the likes of Casemiro, the likes of Christian Eriksen, McTominay. Their heads are all on the chopping board, and as and when those bids come in, Man United are preparing a short list of players. I really hope Zubimendi and Ugarte are the two. They're the two at the top of my personal list. I like the look of this young lad. I say young lad, they're all young to me, 25 years old, ain't that young in football, but Fofana as well. Give me your thoughts and give me your feelings below. And in a separate story today, it says that Toney and Dominic Calvert-Lewin have been discussed as potential targets for Man United. There is scope for the club to add another attacker before the window shuts, and I love that. I'm not particularly keen on Dominic Calvert-Lewin, so before anybody goes, Terry, you're just always positive about everything at United. Dominic Calvert-Lewin would be a signing that I scoff at, would be a signing. I just don't think he has the physicality for the Premier League anymore, and I certainly don't think he has the prolific nature that we need. Or he isn't even close to the prolific nature that we need. He really isn't. If we're going to sign another striker, Toney is the guy that I would like. To have him, Rasmus, and Xerxes together, I feel like that's quite formidable. In terms of the balance and the different profiles, you get more goals out of Toney. You've got the link-up play and the technical ability of Xerxes. There is the rawness of Rasmus, and I'm really intrigued to see what his second season looks like, especially if we can become a team that controls the ball more and creates more opportunities. I believe he could be a really potent asset for us as well. But I do hope these two stories this morning about Man United are true. Bring me Toney. Bring me Zubimendi. Bring me Ugarte. throwing a little right back into that mix as well. And I do believe year one, ground zero of this rebuild of life under Ineos, and we are ready to go this season in terms of improving, playing better football, getting ourselves back into Champions League football, and fighting to win some trophies as well. That's my view. That's my opinion. I want to gauge yours. Make sure you leave your comments below. Go and check out the Football Terrace group chat if you've not joined it already. We post all of our videos in there, plus updates from the journalists that we're working alongside this summer in relation to transfers. Until next time, look after yourselves, people. Be safe, be lucky. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you soon. Peace.